Good evening and welcome to the MCFC 9320 PUBcast. Hello to Paddy and hello to Stan and hello to everybody in the chat. Our illustrious leader isn't with us yet, but no doubt he will be shortly and all chaos will resume. So let's start with... Now, do we start with yesterday's game or do we start with that last-minute winner against Villa? Where would you like to begin?
Let's go Villa.
Okay. So, what's everyone's thoughts of the
game? Sorry, Anne-Marie. I was going to say, should we go with yesterday? Because we all saw that goal.
All right. Okay, so we're going to go back to yesterday then. What were your initial thoughts when you saw the team? Were you worried?
No.
It's different, but it's working. Whatever he's doing. The back four was the same as back four has been for the last three matches, I think, and the three matches that we've won: Everton, Villa, and yesterday. Rico Lewis in midfield. I thought, Jesus, maybe the other Nico could have played Gundogan in the midfield, but I think Pep just picks a team that he thinks is going to won that match. Not necessarily the best players in that position, but players that are going to do a job and give us an advantage. I've kind of given up trying to work Pep out, to be honest with you, because...
Do you think he's packing out the midfield more to help with defence?
Yeah, he's definitely he's stopping the counter-attacks or transitions, as they call them now. He's definitely stopping that by packing out the midfield. But that Kovacic yesterday was like a man fucking possessed. He was like a man from 10 years ago. He covered every blade of grass in that pitch.
He had a fantastic game yesterday.
Oh, did he? What? And do you know what I think the key is in that, Anne-Marie? And see what you two guys agree. I think that's down to one game a week.
Possibly. Because he isn't playing every game at the minute, is he?
No, which makes me think, and this is my head talk or my heart talking now. This is not my head. This is my heart talking. Are we making a bit of a boo-boo, letting Kevin De Bruyne go? If he was playing one game a week, will we get that level of performance out of him? But then, he's on big money, and he'd have to probably take a pay cut and stuff like that. But as I say, that's my heart talking, my head talking. We put my business head on. Yeah, the club have made the right decision, and it's time to grasp the nettle. But the old heart, if you can play one game a week or 3 quarters of a game every week. I think
the problem is though, if we get the Champions League football that we're aiming for, it's not going to be one game a week, is it?
Yeah.
And that's the risk we're taking by possibly keeping Kevin, which we know now is definitely not going to happen.
No, it's not going to happen. And the reason why I think it's not going to happen is if you're a fairly decent midfielder, we'll even go as far as world class, right? You're going to have second thoughts about coming to City if Kevin De Bruyne is in front of you.
Of course you are.
You know, if you have a choice, say for argument's sake, Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City, and you think, well, there's a chance I'll get in the Liverpool team, and there's a bigger chance I'll get in the Arsenal team, but Kevin De Bruyne is at Man City. Will they favour him over me?
And this is kind of what we were talking about the other week, about keeping some of these older players is hindering somebody else coming through.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of professions in the world where you have forced retirement. They keep things fresh, you know.
Yeah.
So, but look, whatever Pep's doing at the minute, it's working because, as I say, we've won the last three difficult, very difficult matches, and don't kid yourself. Everton away, especially Villa at home, were shocking. And then yesterday then against a very good counter-attacking team.
They were very disappointing though in the first half, weren't they, Forest?
That was down to us. That wasn't down to Forest. That was down to us. Like people say, "Oh, Forest for this, Forest for that." We didn't let Forest play. There's a difference.
But because they had
I'll agree with that.
When they changed system in the second half, they were a very different force to be reckoned with.
They had to be. They were 2-0 down. If they didn't attack, they were going out.
But they weren't 2-0 down at the start, were they? It was 1-0.
No.
And then they had Alanga, with his first touch of the game, had the chance to score. And it went just wide. And that was a sign of things to come in that second half. When you look, they hit the post, I think, 3 or 4 times in the second half alone. And it makes you think if they'd have gone out like that in the first half against us, would it have been different?
Yeah, but it goes back to the old cliche then. The footballs.
It was, but they didn't. Quite a lot to unpack there, Anthony. You're right that we have started flooding the midfield and we're getting new fullbacks to bomb on and give that width. It's stopping the counter attacks and we're looking a lot more solid in the middle. We're not giving quite as many chances up. You can argue the toss all day about Forest hitting the post or the bar. Then those shots don't go down as on target. They missed. Or shooting in our book. The way it is. Unlucky lads, move on. The actual attack in the second half. Why did they do that in the first half? Because now we're getting the players back that can pick the keys for the right lot. He'll change things and he'll move things around. He'll not play De Bruyne in one game, then he'll bring him back. It'll also start then moving on to that. If we are going to play him one a year next year, obviously this is all hypothetical now because he's going, which is the right decision. The decision's been made. We can all argue it one way or the other, but at least the decision has been made and we can move forward. If you were wanted to join City and De Bruyne was going to be playing in Europe, there's a very good chance you might not have been playing in Europe. Now, if De Bruyne was going to only play in the Premier League and you were going to play in Europe, De Bruyne might not be happy and want to stay. So there's a few prickly questions there that have just been squashed. You got rid of them. You don't have to worry. Like I say, you can argue all day about De Bruyne, whether he should stay or not, but a decision had to be made. And it's been made nice and early, and everybody knows what's going on. I wasn't worried. Like I say, I wasn't worried about that. The team that he put out, because when you look at the bench now, that bench is a lot stronger than it was 10 weeks ago. You know, it's not laden with kids anymore, so he can play it that we start the first half off, make sure we don't give anything away. If we're 1-0 behind or we need a change, we can bring people like Foden on, which is never a bad thing, although, yes, he's in a bad run of form at the moment. So there's loads and loads and loads of positives, loads of them. And, you know, how many times have we hit the post, we've hit the bar? And Paddy was right, you know. Yeah. Well, why didn't we we didn't get a penalty. Why did we not get a penalty? I mean, it gets brushed over now because of the resulting corner we've scored. That still doesn't mean that was not a penalty. It's hit his hand, it's in the area, and we were always told it doesn't really matter where your hand is. If it hits the ball on the way to the goal, they'll give the penalty. Because remember, by the time the ball hit the hand, it slowed down, and that gave Sells the chance to get over and kick it away. If that hand wasn't in the way, would he have got across with the speed that ball was going? I'm not so sure. So, penalty all day, every day. So, and we've had it. We've all been there.
Yeah, his hand was
so what? He's half turned.
Well, you can't. I don't think you can call
yeah,
that.
but he's half. Look at him.
No, you can't stand.
I will all day. Okay, then if his ball was okay, if the ball hit his hand and his hand was behind his back, how's it got through his body? He was side on.
Yeah, but his hands were behind his back.
And it made a larger target. If they were down by his side, wouldn't have made a larger target. That's what they look at. The ball hit his hand. It was a larger target.
But
I have to think that would have been a harsh penalty.
Yeah, it would have been.
Right, a penalty or not.
His hands were in an all-natural position. His hands were behind his fucking back.
But he wasn't facing the ball. He'd gone in sideways.
But he was facing the ball initially, and he turned sideways.
Yeah, and then his hands came out, didn't they? Because they were behind his back. It's a penalty all day, every day. All day, every day.
Dan, I thought I was bad for blue-tinted glasses, but I think you've just beat me.
No, not at all. No, not at all. I mean, you know, when do you walk around with your hands behind your back?
When you're in the army?
Oh, yeah, he's not in the army, is he? He's made himself a bigger target. That's what nobody's asked where his hands are. If you make yourself a bigger target, that's it. And he did. And the thing came out of the ball, and Sells got across and saved it.
Jesus Christ.
So it's something out about.
I see today, Kovacic has been quoted as saying that Diaz read out the comments that were made by the Forest goalkeeper before the game.
What
that
comments?
He made comments about us that they weren't bothered about us, they weren't scared of us, and whatever else. And Diaz read them out to the team before they went out on the pitch. Kovacic is quoted as saying that.
Well, there's your team.
Yeah. Well done, Mr. Rodri, for seeing that and using it to motivate. He was a lot better there, Rico, wasn't he? But then again, that's the place he normally plays. And it'd be interesting now that De Bruyne's gone, if Nico O'Reilly goes in his favoured spot, which is attacking midfield.
But is he going to get, I was thinking that's Dan, myself. Well, I was thinking two ways. Number one, because he's doing so well at left back, is Pep going to take a chance and not buy a left back and leave him there? Or is he going to go into the midfield? But then if they're going to replace Kevin De Bruyne with his warts or something, warts, whatever you call him, is supposed to be coming. Is there going to be room in there for Rodri, Nico Gonzalez, and this new fella that's coming?
Again, you're going to have to sit them down and say, listen, it's a squad, it's not an 11. And you will play some games and you won't play others. And the reason that you'll be playing some games is because we want to do this in a particular game. And you, Paddy, you're suited for that game. You, Stan, you're suited for that type of game. And you, Anne-Marie, are sorted for that type of game. And then when those games come up, I'll be picking whoever it is I need, unless one of you's injured, or two of you are injured, or in this case, all three of you are injured this season, and we'll have to come up with something else. But that's how they work. You know, this is why you've got a 25-man squad so that you can bring people in and out as and when. It got very limited in Christmas time when we were down with the kids on the bench. But that's because we're not there now. Yeah. I mean, the other thing and all is like, you know, that was mentioned at the Everton game, boo-hoo, so-and-so went off. Now, we played these teams, and I'm not seeing anyone, any journalist anywhere say, City have done this without Rodri, without Haaland, without Stones, without Aki. We've still got a decent...
Aki Ederson.
And Edison. So there's the spine of a treble-winning team. We haven't got it, and nobody's mentioning it. We've done more than all right these last few games. We've done really, really well. Everton away, always difficult. Villa at home. Well, lads, the fact that you've not been in Europe, the fact is, Villa, you've not been in Europe for so long, you've forgotten what it's like. You've got to live with that pressure. Great, you came back, didn't win, but you came back, took it out of you, and since then, you flopped. You've had 2 shocking games.
No, but there you go. David puts it very well. It doesn't fit the narrative.
Exactly.
That's the biggest issue.
You won the first league, that's because of money. You won the second league, that's because of money. You won the third league, that's because of money. Oh, you won the fourth league, that's because of money. Really? Because Real Madrid and PSG and stuff like that, they don't invest money, sure. Or Virgil van Dijk, he was fucking free, wasn't he? And Alisson was free, or whatever you call that, dope.
You missed number 1. Do you remember? Number 1, right back at the beginning. You won't win anything because all you'll do is buy mercenaries.
Yeah. Yeah. Our players make history, your players make money.
Correct. Yeah. Well, now they've made money.
But it's like if you listen to a lot of the pundits this last couple of weekends since it's been announced Kev's going, they've been waxing lyrical about how he's the best midfielder.
Of course they are.
And that's a fact. There's no disputing that. But it's interesting when you go back to...
Anne-Marie's froze down, is she?
Yeah, it's blown the internet.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're
back. You're back.
So on the back of the... On the back of the Daily Mirror was the headline about us buying a £60 million Chelsea flop.
Yeah.
And that same weekend, you had Phil Thompson and Paul Merson. Absolutely slating him and slating the fact that we bought him for what we paid for him. And I just wonder, it'd be interesting to see now if the likes of Paul Merson would watch that back and apologise.
Well, you had your other fella, what do you call him, Savage, was it? The Robbie Savage says he wouldn't pay to watch him.
No.
Yeah, who'd pay to watch Robbie Savage play football?
At
least Merson had a bit of skill about him.
Yeah.
Do you know what, though?
I think, right, and this is just my thinking, I think Kevin De Bruyne broke ranks and broke the news. I think he should. I don't think Man City wanted him to come out with half a dozen games to go and turn around and say, Man City just brought me in, short meeting, told me I'm going, pack my bags.
Possibly. There's something not 100% right with that situation. There is definitely. And I just think there was never going to be a good time to announce it.
No.
Yeah, well, see, it depends what lens you want to view it from. Man City were probably thinking they're doing them a favour, telling them 6-7 matches from the end. Look, tell your agents to start finding a new club for you, rather than comes the end of the season, piss off. No.
Yeah, but we're hindering ourselves here because we've still got this Club World Cup now. Midway through that, well, he can to a point, and then his contract's out.
His contract's up before it.
Is it? I thought he still had.
No, he can't play in the World Cup.
Well, that's ridiculous. Then that was poor management by City.
Hang on, we can't say like when he signed his contract, right? Then that will let's hang on and extend it a couple of weeks if we're in the World Cup. It's not going to work like that. These things were all decided a long time ago. And I think what they've done is just said, right, let's cut it. Now, instead of losing, and we have lost a few players where we couldn't have time to celebrate their endeavours for us, we've now got that. We've got Kevin De Bruyne playing out of his skin, maybe playing for a contract with somebody else at a good level. So we're getting the best out of him. We probably decided, and it's probably as simple and as brutal as we can't be paying 400 grand a week for somebody who plays 25 games a year across all competitions. Right? And it'll be something, it's going to be absolutely stone cold hearted business. That's it. And that's what we're in. That's the business.
That's what it is. Like we're emotional because we're fans.
Yeah.
So we're caught up in the emotion of it. Oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. Them boys are columns, spreadsheets, figures.
But I think come the start of next season, we're going to be in a position where there's a lot of players, or quite a few players, that we've not been able to say au revoir to because they'll be gone in the summer. I think there'll be a mass clear out in the summer.
Well, if you listen,
you're right.
If you listen to Pep, that's the way Pep's talking. He has said that now 3 times. I've actually seen him come straight out of his own mouth say that 3 times, that if players are not available for every 3 games, well, maybe they can't be here.
No, I mean, what Kathy said there, it is up before, and he won't want a risk injury. I mean, that's fair enough. That's Kevin making a stone cold business decision for his own career, which he's perfectly entitled to do. We saw what happened with Sane, didn't we? He played in that final that he shouldn't have played, till his knee in, and he had to wait a year.
That was the Charity Shield.
Let's be realistic about the whole situation. Kevin De Bruyne has been on £21 million for the last number of years, so he's not exactly going down to the dole and signing on. Like, we're not talking about someone who's going to lose their job in a factory. We're talking about a multi-millionaire. If he never kicked the ball again, he's still a multi-millionaire.
No, but that's why you didn't make him a footballer and he did. It's the football. It'll always be the football, because he's going to have to retire before he's 35, 40.
Yeah, but Stan,
yes, the money's fantastic.
A week than you'll earn a year.
Of course he is. That's not a problem for me, because he can do things I can't do.
Yeah, but
other than run for more than 10 seconds, right? He's miles ahead of us, and he can do things that. But you never heard anyone say, "Oh well, look at him there, the self-made businessman. He's ripped off thousands of people and crushed people and sacked them and all that." But he's a man of the people. He's Lord Sugar. Never did anything. Did it all on his own. Well, apart from the education that he was given for nothing, the house that his mum and dad were given for nothing, all the rest of it. You soon realise nobody gets anywhere on their own. They will always have people that are going to help them.
I read a thing today, or was it yesterday?
We're getting back to the football.
There was a fella played for us, Stan, you'll know this. Reese Wabra or something, played 1 game. He's an absolute fucking multi-millionaire. He stopped playing football and I think it was fashion. And he's worth hundreds of millions.
Yeah. And any education he'd done, he'd played football, he'd been in the union. Well, he'd have been in the union, and they would have paid for any education systems that he'd done. So he'll have had that, and he'll have had good contact. Fair play to him. Not going to moan about him. He's done well. He's in a system there. He's doing fashion that I've got absolute.
I think Kathy makes a point there. She says she thinks Nunes will improve. You think he's improving? Don't shoot me.
Well, he is. But again, and I'm going to go back, and it's a hypothetical question. Are we going to get carried away, or is Pep going to get carried away because Nico O'Reilly's doing so good at left back and Nunes is doing okay at right back, and not buy a left back or right back this summer?
No, he'll buy a left or right back, whatever he needs. Yeah, what he'll say is, "Thank you, Mr. Nunes. Thank you, Mr. O'Reilly. You've done done the very best you can,
But do you think he'd go both, Stan? You think he'd go left back?
because that's all you can do.
I think he possibly will.
It won't surprise me. Don't ask me.
You're looking at a left
I cannot
back,
predict
right
what
back, somebody in the midfield.
Pep's going to do. We'll all know what's going on in that ball then.
And you're looking at a goalkeeper as well, if the rumours are to believe that Edison wants out.
Yeah. It would
So
make
that's
sense,
4.
but
Like, there's going to be... It's going to be a lot of money to be spent.
I know, and I think there's a lot of ifs, buts, and maybes, and I think we need to get
possibly.
a decision.
But we've said this since.
These are
Yeah, we've said this in.
charges. We need the decision.
There's going to be an awful lot of experience walking out that door.
There is, but we need an answer to these 115 charges, because ultimately, I honestly believe if we were guilty, it would have been leaked by now. That's what I think.
Well, not alone that. I'm really wouldn't be putting an extension on the stadium, like.
Well, it's not just the extension on the stadium, is it? It's the, if you think about the 200 million we spent in January, we wouldn't have gone out spending money like that.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think you have to, if you look at it that way, I honestly believe we're in the clear with that. I honestly do. I just want it to be announced and to be over and done with.
So they'll launch it now because they'll launch it now because the Dirty Dippers have won the league. You know, now it pays it. Like, it makes me laugh. It used to make me angry, right? Take Man City out of the Premiership, right? Who would have won it the last number of years? Man United, Liverpool, or Arsenal. But that's okay because they're all American owners. They don't want the Arabs winning this. You know? No, there's not a word says about Liverpool winning the league. Also, it's great. It's working man's club, really. Because all them players come up through the academy that are on that pitch.
But it's not just that, is it, Paddy? I mean, you just look, what is it, 3 years running now? Arsenal have finished runners-up.
Yeah.
And the bottom line is, they're not good enough to win it.
And Declan Rice had one good game against Real Madrid, and they're now saying, oh, he justified his 110 million or 105 million, whatever it was. What, for one game?
Well, that's it. I think it's...
Can I ask a quick question? Does anybody remember Rising Damp?
With Rigsby?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Renty.
Do you remember the name of the cat, Vienna? If you go back, Dave Buckley, go back a couple, that's it. So Rigsby's cat needs to step in and remind Pep that changes need to happen. Have I read that right? I'm only pulling your leg, David, don't worry. We know who you mean. And yes, you are right. Old Hugo Vienna, he does need to tell him. Well, you don't need to tell him. I think he knows. Changes are coming. Like it or lump it.
Did Nick say Holland needs a new deal?
No, he's saying, because when we were talking about the fact that we went and spent 200 million in January and doing the extension, and Nick was saying, and also Haaland's new deal.
I can see now. I can see up close with the glasses. So like either he was given reassurances, or he has a clause that they're keeping secret that if it goes belly up, that he has an out.
But I don't think it is going to go belly up. That's my honest opinion.
Look, let's be serious, right? We're talking about serious businessmen here, right? They didn't get to where they are in the day without being smart, and every last one of them Premiership clubs cheat. Just we cheat a little bit better. Like, you're talking about old things, Sam. Do you remember that film, the two fellas who were in a train and they were playing poker, and the two of them were cheating? And your man who thought he was cheating got caught because the other fella had an ace up his sleeve. And he turned around and says to his mate, he says, what do you want me to do? Say he cheats better than I do? Man City are just exploiting more holes. But look at Chelsea. Sure, Chelsea were signing players on for 7-8 deals, selling hotels back to themselves and all this. Can you carry on?
Selling the women's team back to themselves.
And the women's team, yeah.
Yeah, but
like
the interesting thing
the whole thing is pathetic.
If we are found innocent, which I believe we will be, every single Premier League club will have to pay us £5 million.
Why?
No, I don't think they're paying us. I think that's to go to the Premier League to pay for the cost of the hearing.
Or maybe it is, but it's going to come to us because they're going to have to pay for our expenses, aren't they?
Yeah. Hey, do you remember, Paddy, while you were talking about that cheating? Yeah. It's the same with Only Fools and Horses, and to cut the story right down, when Boyce says to him, "How did you know I was cheating?" He says, "Because you didn't play the cards I dealt you." So, and that's where we're at the moment, isn't it? That, it's where do you go from it all?
How long ago were we charged? 2 years ago now, was it?
Yeah.
No, come on.
And who were the 20 teams in the Premier League then, or 19?
Well, it was when we were. It was the treble winning season, wasn't it?
Yeah, but
so that's 2 years ago.
Who were the 3 teams that went down? Because I'm sure they don't want to get lumbered with a £5 million bill.
Yeah, you're right, Amber, because we were having a bit of a bad season, weren't we? Then that came out and galvanised everybody.
Absolutely. Who were the teams that went down?
Stan, you're the stat man. Who was the teams went down that year?
It's easy to remember, isn't it? It'd be the 3 that come up. So it is now, isn't it? 6 teams, 3 go down, and then the other 3 come up. Ad infinitum. Leeds, they'd have been 1.
No, because Leeds only went down last season, and they've come straight back up. The same with Burnley.
Well, they'll be back again. Southampton, probably. I don't know.
Norwich.
I don't know. Norwich. Yeah, Norwich might be 1. I get a crick in my neck when they start looking below.
It'll only be the 3 teams that went down.
Norwich, Leicester, and...
Oh, Leicester have been in for quite a while.
Well, Leicester got relegated, and came back up last season. So it was them that got relegated.
What was it, the 22-23 season?
Yeah. It's Leicester, Norwich, and... Oh, if anyone in the chat knows, please let me know the answer.
Which season are you talking about?
The 22-23 season when we won the treble.
Leicester, Leeds and Southampton was the 22-23 season.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Leicester, Leeds, Southampton. Yeah, he's right.
Yeah, so
and Everton were 2 points off, and Forest were 4 points off. Just before, by the way, they got caught cheated on PFR. So when they talk about cheats, we know who you are.
Yeah,
Forest,
just like the crowd
we're looking at
yesterday.
You. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Imagine being outsung by a crowd that's 5,000 less than you are. To be fair, when they came in December, I don't think they fill. Well, they didn't fill the third tier. I don't think
it was a midweek game, though. To be fair,
yeah, well, that's all right. It's a Sunday, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, but the difference is, as Stephen Borson pointed out, they've sold 70,000 tickets in the last 10 years. We've sold over 1 million. It shows you how often we've been to Wembley.
Well, I think they said yesterday it was 30 times. Since Pep became manager, we've been to Wembley 30 times.
Yeah.
Worst thing we ever did, appointed him. I had money and I could go to the matches years ago.
Not anymore.
Now you're skint and can't go, and you're hanging on for that handouts. There we go.
Yeah.
And I didn't realise that the final is the 17th of May.
Yeah.
We're going to have to move the Bournemouth game again.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Then probably somebody was
To
saying in the
know,
group will probably be the Tuesday or Wednesday before the cup final.
it's good to know that they look after the fans, isn't it?
Well, I mean, that's the, you know, if you just think about yesterday and getting down there for the fans. So even if you went on the Saturday, you're paying over the odds because it's London Marathon weekend as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the trains are averagely shit at a weekend.
Yeah.
You've got the cost of your ticket, the cost of getting down there,
Yeah.
the cost of if you have a drink
Yeah.
at Wembley. You know, I mean, it all adds up, and this is where we're back to a reality check for the Football League, the Premier League, and the clubs. People cannot afford to do that.
But like,
I mean, to be fair though, Amber, for the overwhelming majority of fans at clubs, the reality is they're never going to be spending that money because they won't get to the semi-final of anything. So it doesn't bother them, and it's not of any interest to them.
Well, it's like Forest haven't been to a FA Cup semi-final since 1991.
Yeah, I think they went to a playoff game, didn't they? At Wembley, morning, afternoon, evening, Blue Moon, Monday. Yeah.
So
the only thing I'd say in response to that, Amory, is welcome to the life of an overseas fan. Because if you think Wembley's expensive, fuck, you want to see what I have to pay to attend a home game in Manchester?
And I can well believe it.
Well, the other thing is, people say you only have to look at the American prices, and they're in the hundreds of dollars. But you've got to remember as well, with American football, I think they only play 16 games, don't they? 17 games tops if you get to the Super Bowl.
But you're also getting the wages, and the economy matches you being able to pay at $600 is the cheapest ticket for an American football game. But
I mean, I don't know what the price is for men's netball and rounders is over there, but they've got about 130 games or something mental. But nobody's asked, are they? So.
Yeah, but Stan, you have London wages, and then you have Manchester wages, and you have Glasgow wages, and you have Liverpool wages. So, like, everybody's getting wages. They live within the area that they're living in. You know, they could be grand to be living in Manchester and getting London wages. But
no, but I mean, even Pep commented on it yesterday when he was asked about the empty seats, and he said
he pissed me off. I'm really sorry, to be honest with you.
Why, Paddy?
Because he made a comment about fans can't go because of money and tickets and this and that, whatever. Well, do you know what? You have fucking 23 millionaires in that change room. Tell them to have a whip round and put buses on for fans and maybe fucking subsidise tickets if you want. Oh, we need them there. We want them there. We need the guys from the start. Well, really?
I know, but it's one of those. They could do that, but it's never going to satisfy everybody, is it?
Oh.
But you can't go on TV and turn around and say, "Oh, we need them there," and money and all this crap. Really?
But he also made the point that maybe we can be playing finals in the north rather than having to keep coming down south for them, which is a valid point.
Yeah, but you turn around and say Crystal Palace now. Crystal Palace want to come up to the north and play the final?
No, but why do we have to go down south and play the final?
So what you're saying, if there's two northern teams, they play in the north?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, as a hypothetical, the biggest expense is always going to be for a team from the north to have to go down to the south. So the likes of your Crystal Palace, Chelsea, Arsenal,
Fulham.
It's not going to have any impact on them because it's no different really to going to a home game.
Absolutely.
Could you imagine, Paddy, the whinging and bitching that would go on if they said, right, we're going to stop this, we're going to hold the final alternate, one in the north, following year, one in the south, following year, one in the north. And then suddenly Arsenal had to play Fulham and they were told, no, it's the north, you've got to go to Sheffield or wherever no, your pair of you have got to go up there. They'd have that switch to Wembley straight away. And what Anne-Marie says, it doesn't matter what we do, we have to go down south. We can't even go to Villa Park.
For the number of times we've been there in the last 10 years, we're practically paying for that stadium. We've practically paid for that stadium to be built.
We are. And we know that because it was massively over budget. But there's no reason whatsoever that game could not have gone to Villa Park. It would have been sold out. You'd have had a cracking atmosphere, and people could have gone.
Well,
and it's midway between both teams.
Seats for the City fan, but like, if we wanted to make a statement, it should have been 25,000. That would have made a statement.
No, he's absolutely right there, House Captain. They do have a contract. They do, and it has to be paid because they've got a massive white elephant there, and they will put anything on there if it'll make money, and they can pay that money back.
Yeah, so look at the Eubank fight there on Saturday night, was it?
Yeah, that was at Tottenham Stadium, wasn't it?
You know? But then it makes you laugh then, little Jimmy across the road, we're going to build the Wembley of the North. Yeah, you can build the Wembley of the North, but they're fucking nobody going to come to it.
They will if there's semi-finals and finals.
No.
They'll only come to it if the FA have any hand in having to pay for it. That's the only reason they'll move it there.
Somebody has to pay for the Twin Towers. It's as simple as that.
And we know that United aren't going to fund the whole lot.
They can't even fund their own stadium, can they?
Can't even afford the repairs. You can't even get a free lunch.
No such thing as a free lunch anymore, Paddy.
No. So, coming back to the football, aren't we doing fantastic? 3 in the bunch, Everton, Forest, Villa. 3 tough matches.
And hopefully Wolves on Friday.
Hey, I tell you what, Paddy, didn't the roof get lifted off when we scored the second against Villa?
But you know what, Stan? I swear to God, I got back to the hotel about 10 past 11 or quarter past 11, and I had a flight early next morning. I couldn't fucking sleep. I couldn't sleep. I was fucking wired to the moon.
Yeah, no, I must admit, it was about 1:30 before I fell asleep. I was up at 6:30, and it was just, like you say, absolutely wired. There's no better feeling than a last 30-second winner. It's just
like where me and Anne-Marie sit, right? I could actually see it in slow motion.
Oh, hang on a minute. Is it me and Anne-Marie now? It was always Anne-Marie. What happened to the armchair alliance? You soon broke. You got your nose in a couple of games.
You were the first to break that, you scab. So you embarrassed me at no choice, but you start coming.
It wasn't scabbing. I was asked to go in and do a job. I was going there when we were getting beat and making sure that we did win. You've come now that all the hard work's done. You're just doing the painting on top of the tarmac. I bloody put all that hard work. Yeah, and we should have
been asked out for a drink here.
Who, me?
Way up.
No, LB Mass debated me. Let me take you for a drink, I am.
Fine.
Yeah. Rosie, her
blue,
I have a knife, get in the van.
Are you a season ticket holder, LB?
That's not LB as in London Blue, is it?
I don't know, mate, but I thought it was in from Motorhead for a moment.
But anyway, Stan,
what
I was saying before.
Let me kill Minster.
Me, you scab. Where me and Anne-Marie sit.
Oh yeah,
I could
forgot
see
about it.
I could see the ball going across. I was thinking, Jesus Christ, it's past him, it's past him, it's past him, and the next thing, boom, straight in the fucking onion bag. Yes.
Yeah, I tell you what, he's took that well at that speed and that stretch and get it in from that tight angle. Brilliant.
Oh, man.
Absolutely brilliant.
And the amount of people had left before that.
Yeah, well, you do that. I tell you what, though, that with Andy, that match, it was the first time I'd heard this fella and his two kids behind us. Jesus Christ, no wonder Andy wants to move, listening to them whining all the way through it. Then as soon as they scored, they went off home. It was like, oh, the consumers couldn't even be asked to say and clap them off. But that's modern football for you, isn't it? What, you know,
Yeah.
absolutely buzzing.
Even at half time, 36, 37, 38 minutes, they're all going for pies and pints. I'm thinking, well, where the fuck are you scored? Sit down.
No, but on that third tier, Paddy, I have to say that if you don't go early for a drink,
you're not going to get one.
You're not going to get one, or you're going to miss 5 minutes of the second half.
Anne-Marie, you have 90 minutes out of your life to sit on your backside and watch the team. You can surely do it without a drink.
No, but then you have to it depends on what you want to drink, Paddy, because I know if I'm going, I get a couple of the bottles of water and take them with me.
Yeah, but you still go. We all know why you get up off your seat and leave.
Yes, but that doesn't matter. We're not talking about that now.
Is that the water you asked for out there?
Yeah. If you were standing outside the Etihad on Friday night, you think Anne-Marie was after electing a new pope and smoke would be coming out the roof.
Behave, gentlemen.
So, I don't know. Trying our best.
You're at the game on Friday, Paddy?
I am. I'm coming over on Friday morning.
Does it keep cutting out?
It does a little bit. Oh, there goes Stan again.
Stan,
and I see our leader never joined us.
No, he must be stuck at work.
Or he just didn't fancy it. I don't know which.
Yeah, I'm coming over on Friday morning, so I'll walk around Manchester for a while and then hit Chinatown to get a bit of grub and then be down the ground then and soak in the atmosphere.
House captain, we don't know where Andy is. We just asked us to take over for tonight.
Stan,
yeah, it's headshine day.
As it happens, at the moment, no. What we've done is we've made a decision on Andy and he's speaking to other podcasts as we talk.
What do you mean you're not going?
Armchairs to fill, mate.
You're a disgrace. Call yourself a fan.
His remote needs new batteries.
Yeah. Good shout, Anne-Marie. Good shout. It's so we can pause it at that moment in time so we can get that extra few seconds to score the goal.
That's the worst about being there.
Just as Nunes put his foot out and he's like, when the player goes flying past him, and then it goes. The only way to do it, Paddy, is technology.
There you go, Paddy. There's a comment for you.
I was a season ticket holder. Before he got all posh and rich.
Yeah.
when the pies were proper.
And you used to have to tear off a part of you. You had to tear off a part of the parchment, didn't you?
If you were posh, yeah, or otherwise you just.
Ye old Leicester Foss at home.
Oh, your old book there. You have to try and find the right number.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
16. 60. Fucking hell. Can't see it. It's great, that, isn't it? They just put a number on top of the turnstile on it, and that was it.
Yeah.
Tell you.
Never in any particular order.
Ah, yeah, you see. Beating technology, weren't they? That was, what's it called? What do they call them? Anti-software or whatever it is.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Cyber security. Everyone will think it should be number 9, make it number 12, it'll confuse them. We've not used 4 yet, don't worry about that, we'll use that in a few games. Unbelievable, great days. And you couldn't even tell them, could you? Because if you had the wrong number, you were knackered, you're not going to get in. Unless, of course...
season books are like, Stan? They're like,
well, unless...
selection, now it's fucking random
there you go,
whole season
Stan, and there's a comment for you.
Yeah, try to stop your jibbing, Enstey. No, it was right, the good old days. And that was all right then, until they then put those great big toll gates in, so you couldn't jump over the turnstiles, because they made the turnstiles about 6.5 foot. Yeah, happy days.
LB, I think you're winding me up, and I don't think you'd really want to take me for a drink, but thank you.
No, you wouldn't. It's cheaper getting a season ticket and go to Wembley 3 times a year.
Oh dear. So obviously we've got a few interesting games this week. I'm guessing we're all PSG fans tomorrow night.
Oh yes.
Well, who's playing tomorrow night?
The Scruffs and PSG.
Yeah.
Here, you're talking about the Scruffs. Did you see that fucking carry on with Real Madrid against Barcelona?
Oh. Why is nobody surprised Rudiger was involved? It's not like him at all.
Exactly.
3 players sent off after the final whistle. An absolute disgrace.
He threw an ice cube at the referee.
He threw an ice pack at him.
An ice pack, was it?
Yeah. Mr. Softy.
Do you know what? That you say Rudiger, right? And see that, I won't swear, that beep it hit the bar and hit the post yesterday, that Morgan White's the fella got Rodri sent off. We're actually linked with him. I'd fucking probably go back supporting Stockport County if we sign him. I hate that fella. He's another Joey Barton.
No. I tell you what, did you notice Jude Bellingham got sent off? That was nice.
Who?
Did he get sent off after the final whistle as well? Was he one of the 3?
Yeah. I'm pretty certain, yeah, I'll look it up, but I am pretty certain.
Was it not Vinicius?
Pretty certain. He might have been, well, he was 3 of them, wasn't there? So we'll find out. Yeah,
he ran over the
Rudiger, Vasquez, and Jude Bellingham. Yeah.
Oh.
I'd just given him a red card before the game started and just saved everyone the money.
There's a question that I didn't think. Kathy wants to know: is Klopp going to manage Real Madrid?
Probably will.
Yeah, because Ancelotti's pretty much guaranteed to be the next Brazil manager, isn't he?
But Klopp's just taking over Red Bull, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he gets a chance to play Real Madrid,
he's the director of football, isn't he?
Yeah.
But they reckon the other one is Xabi Alonso, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's the one that's linked with the Real Madrid job.
But the 2 of them are the goal for Xabi. I think you got more chance of getting him.
Doing it in Germany is a bit different than doing it in the Premier League or doing it in the Spanish League.
Mm. Well, we don't know. Pep's done it everywhere, hasn't he? It's all the same to him. He's not bothered.
Yeah, but he's
No,
only
he
a checkbook
didn't win
manager.
the Champions League with Bayern Munich, did he?
No, but he won it all in Germany, didn't he?
Mm.
Is it right? This is only like in 12 years of managing. This is only like the 3rd time he's not won the league.
Well, it's certainly his 2nd year with City that he's not won anything.
Did I see
So
Oh,
something
he's
far.
not
today?
won nothing yet. Hang on. We still got the FA Cup. No, we're not there yet.
No, and we've won the Charity Shield.
But I seen a thing today, and I can't remember who it was. I think it's Diaz, and since Diaz and somebody else signed, it's the first time they haven't won the league.
Yeah, I was saying that a couple of weeks ago. He's been here. People talk about Van Dijk. Diaz has been here for 4 years and has never not lifted the trophy. First year, not won it.
Yeah, and there's somebody else along with him.
It really is some going.
So they.
Who's that?
There's another player along with Diaz that.
I don't know.
This is the first. What do you mean you don't know, Stan? You're the resident stat man. That's not good enough. You're not getting paid this week.
Don't know. I'm not a bloody computer, am I?
Who do you think it is, Amory?
Anyway.
Yes, I've got Snapchat, LB, but I don't want any pervy pictures, thank you.
LB, relax yourself now, lad. This is not a fucking dating site. It's not, what do you call that? Swindler or Tinder, whatever you call it.
There you go.
I tell you what, though.
At City with no title and one at Barcelona.
Right, hang on a minute. Are we, when we say title, are we talking about winning the league?
His first season, COVID season, and this season.
That's it, yeah, that's the thing. One at Barca, yeah. So that's 4 now, isn't it? And how long's he been going? It's a phenomenal. He took over at Barcelona in 2009, didn't he?
Yeah, because he hammered Man United.
15 years.
In the Champions League.
In
2011.
15 years.
I think he's half an idea what he's doing.
Here's an interesting fact that Arsenal TV came up with yesterday or this week.
They're shy.
Every time a Pope has died, an English team has won the Champions League that season. So in 78, John Paul I died. Nottingham Forest won the Champions League. Yeah. 2005, the next one died, John Paul II. Liverpool won the Champions League.
Was they shouldn't have been in?
No. 22, Pope Benedict died, and City won the Champions League that season.
Proper champions.
Yeah, proper champions. And this year, obviously, we've just had another Pope die, and the only English team left in the Champions League is Arsenal. So Arsenal TV.
I swear to God, I'd actually fucking emigrate to an island when there's no internet. If Liverpool won the league and Arsenal won the Champions League, I'd buy an island somewhere.
But talk about clutching at straws.
Right, hang on a minute. When did City win the Champions League?
The 22-23 season.
22-23, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then Real Madrid won it last year. Is that still only 2 years ago, that? 2 seasons ago?
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
So it's hard to tell what we've won so much.
The problem with that, though, with Benedict, is he wasn't Pope when he died, was he? He'd resigned earlier, so...
He wasn't the Pope, but he was technically he was still classed as
so that's Arsenal.
Stan's right.
So that's Arsenal chatting shit.
If that was Mastermind or University Challenge, that would be the wrong answer. He wasn't resident Pope. You're right, Stan.
So Arsenal are chatting shit again.
Yeah,
Well, of
as
course
usual.
they are.
Yeah. Well, you've got to go through the hoops and prove it. Yes. Even though you know they are, at least you've got to put up a defence. So, yeah.
Damn blood,
Tell you what,
bro.
he loved to malign Harry Kane. Bayern had won the league 10 years on the bounce. He turned up and didn't win it. Streaks are there to be made to be broken, aren't they?
Yeah.
So 150 popes have died and an English team's won it. And then Arsenal turned up.
Well, I, for
No.
one, will most definitely be cheering for PSG tomorrow night.
I see what you did there, top of the league. Do not let this fact slip. We don't let anything slip anymore. Always made me laugh that. So I seen a couple of weeks ago on Twitter that somebody said Liverpool, wouldn't it have been great if Mo Salah had been here with Stevie G and they could have won the league? And somebody showed a picture and it was Mo Salah in Chelsea kit. Watching.
That, yeah.
They said he was there.
He fucking was.
But I'll tell you what, you don't see that very much, is it? That you say, oh, Kevin De Bruyne wasn't worth it. Chelsea could have had Salah and De Bruyne in the team. But the absolute genius that is Mourinho got rid of him.
Yeah. I'll tell you who's fallen off a cliff at Chelsea is Cole Palmer.
Cole Palmer.
He's not doing the oil anymore. He hasn't fucking scored about 20 games.
He's not scored a goal whilst the Pope has been dying. There's a stat for you.
I don't think he's scored a goal since Christmas, has he?
Don't think so.
Since Father Christmas died. DC. I tell you what, DC, this is why you plug in every week, innit? The absolute variety of nonsense that we can get through.
We're giving you an education.
Or did you see the Villa fans knocking lumps at each other at Wembley?
No.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, they really went for it.
Are they stuffing season ticket books into each other's pockets?
Yeah.
House captain, I don't want him back, thanks.
Who?
Cole Palmer.
Cole Palmer. That's a.
I wonder what happened to turn him into Carlton Palmer. This is what happens 1 year at Chelsea. You've gone. I mean, there's always a bit of lag in it. While he was at City, and then for about a year, he's going to be magic because everything he learned at City, he'll have remembered. But then slowly, it's just been drained out of him. And he's now on the cusp of the England under-21 team.
There's very few, if you think about it, who have left City in the last 10 years that have gone on to succeed in the game. I mean, kids like your man.
You know what? I had an argument with a United fan about this years ago, and it's always going to be very difficult that when you leave the team that's dominating, that you are going to win anything. And this is what's happening now. You're not going to win anything because City are hoovering up.
Like you had your man Torres that went to Barcelona, Sancho, Cole Palmer, Latvia. Jesus, the list goes on.
Yeah. Liam Delap.
Delap. I'm not being smart. They're all about Liam Delap getting bought for 60 million. Jesus Christ.
Romeo Lavia.
Yeah.
But these fellas, you know, you can't you look at, you know, was it last season? And you had the likes of, or the season before, you had Liverpool and Chelsea fighting it out over the Brighton fella.
Yeah, I know who you mean. Yeah.
And obviously, I can only assume that the reason he went to Chelsea was money. Because in reality, if you wanted to win something, you'd have gone to Liverpool.
Well, you could say the same way. Cucurella. He could
Yeah.
be up. He went to Chelsea.
Again, it had to be money.
But I tell you what, if anybody in the chat or even the two of you go on the website and there's a little documentary there on the under 18s and how this new guy has come in, and they call it the reductionist approach that they're using with the under 18s. They have sit-down meetings twice a week on areas of the game that they need to one-to-one on the areas of the game they need to work on, and then the rest of it then is kind of education and on and off the pitch. They haven't been beaten 20-odd games.
This is that Oliver Rice, isn't it? The German fella.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got rid of the Irish lad and brought in the German, and things have gone right up.
Hey,
that woke you up, didn't it?
Calm your knickers.
I thought you fell asleep then, Paddy. He was just seeing if you were awake.
The Irish fella's after getting relegated with Leicester. He's number 2, the Ruud van Nistelrooy, Leicester.
But there's a man who's not going to be in a job much longer.
Sarge Wilkinson's lads at City, isn't it? Doing one of the youth teams. Howard Wilkinson, his son Ben, he's training one of the teams. Can't remember who it is. There was a player who's doing all right, but he's had to move countries and he's gone to a team that win things. That Brahim Diaz and the two that went to Barca, yeah. That's it. Well, that's because they've had to move country, innit? You know, because it's not going to happen in this country. Anyway, that was 10 minutes ago. Back into the now. So yeah, but he's done really well. But he was a well-regarded coach in Germany. So you're going to expect good things from.
But everybody's doing them under 18s. It's working. This reduction process they're calling it. But go on the website and have a read and have a listen to it. It's like it's really, it's advanced. The technology that they're using and the approach, the humanistic approach that they're using the kids, it's turned the team around.
I'm just having a look here because he said he worked really well with the youth team at Berlin, and I can't think of anyone top class that's come out of Hertha, but that's me not being an expert on Hertha Berlin.
Do you know who's doing very well at ours, kids wise, is the Emma Helsky's kids.
Yeah.
They're doing okay. They definitely have if they don't make it at ours, they're definitely going to make a living in the game. That's for certain, sure.
McAdoo as well. He's another one who's doing. There's quite a few Whatmuff in there. McAdoo. I've been watching them the last few weeks. They've got a lot of good players there.
And the fellow we bought from West Ham,
Mifune, yeah.
He's actually made a couple of first team appearances, actually.
Yeah. Now there's a few 16-year-olds in that under 18 as well, so they got another year, 2 years there. They're going to be monsters.
Yeah. Well, you talk about monsters. Look at the size of Nico Riley. What is he? 18, 19?
6'2". I tell you what, though, I do like that, and I saw it at the Villa game. He really does. He's almost where how he can keep people off his back, and there'd be 2 or 3 of them dogging around his legs trying to get at him, and he just doesn't get phased. And he's got the little shuffles and moves.
Yeah. Do you see him yesterday doing the step-overs?
Yeah, he's got really delicate feet for a big fella, hasn't he? You know, his footwork's good.
He's like fucking Niall Quinn, silky feet for the size of him.
Do you think in one of them gyms at the back of there, they've got a Billy Elliot studio where they're all doing like King Clancy did? Because he always said doing dancing when he was a kid helped him turn into Twinkle Toes. It won't surprise me.
As Bernardo Silva says, people who use the gym, footballers who use the gym can't play football.
No. Wonder if United are all doing Irish dancing so that they can all dive over.
Oh, Jesus Christ! You're slagging off Brian Barry Murphy now. It's Irish dancing. Jeez, anything else you want to get off your chest there when you're at it?
I'm all right for the moment, Paddy. Just give us
All
5
right.
minutes. I'll come back. There's plenty of time yet. There's plenty of time yet for the very late reducer.
Racism.
Well,
It's a casual.
we're getting to a point where we need to wrap it up, fellas, because obviously Andy isn't joining us. So, predictions for Friday.
8-0.
But
Seriously, we will win 8-0 one day, and you will all go, the bastard. You know.
Yeah, what do you reckon, Paddy?
oh, I definitely 4-0 for me. 3-4-0 easily.
Okay. And
Because I'm meeting Pep beforehand.
If we do win 8-0 on Friday night, I can guarantee you two won't be on Sunday.
well, I guarantee I will be on Sunday because I'm not going to let something like that. It'll be a bloody miracle if we win 8-0.
No, I'm just laughing that now the two of you sat together up in the library.
We're not sat together on Friday, are we?
No, she
I
don't.
don't. I've got no idea. I'm just winding you up.
He's sitting over Andy's side in the library.
I'm just doing Andy's role for 5 minutes at the end, just winding everyone up and being an absolute. Oh, yeah. I've got a joke for you, Paddy. You'll enjoy this. Apparently, Anne-Marie had to ban some food from this podcast. She'd given them a number in good faith, and apparently, he'd sent a dick pic. It was a head and shoulder profile picture of Andy.
That's as funny as a match card.
I didn't know you could get funny match cards.
You'd fucking bring tears to your glass eye.
And I'm going for 3-1 on Friday.
Anne-Marie, we are not conceding on Friday night.
The Wolves are on a good run at the minute.
Yeah, they are.
So I think we have to just admit we could let one in on Friday.
No, not with the back four we have.
He's all right though. That Kuna fella's okay, isn't he? Him up front for them.
That's if he can control his temper.
That's true.
Wind him up. That should be part of the team talk. Wind him up because he'd fucking blow his gasket. Little kicks, nips. Help him up onto the arm and nip him on the armpits.
Right. And on that note, folks, we'll call it a night. Thanks, everybody in the chat. As always, couldn't do it without you. And to Stan and Paddy, who, again, I couldn't do it without, but I might have made more sense if I did. And
it'd have been a lot better, Anne-Marie.
And
it would have been a lot better.
And we will see you all being well on Sunday evening at 7:00. Take care, everybody.
After our 8-0 win. Ta-ra, gang.
Bye.
3-1.